This video is the second of three pieces of content that I'll be pushing out for interviewing the Breadbasket brothers. In a few days on my website, linked in the description, I'll have a full-length article posted on it. So if you want, go check that out. But for now, enjoy the interview. There we go. All right. So yeah, let's just get into it if you want.
Let's do it.
Can you just give some background to yourself, what you do, where you're from?
Yeah. My name's Danny G. Grew up in Colorado. I played sports growing up. I also made music growing up. So that was my big thing. I played three sports in high school, and then I was in choirs doing music as well. And then I ended up going to Belmont University. I played soccer there, did music there as well. And then I feel like kind of all of that experience led to what I'm mainly doing now, which is the content creation stuff. I've kind of just taken a lot of my background and put it into my content. So it's a lot of sports content. And then obviously what Zach and I do is just kind of who we are. We're just having fun being who we are. And yeah, I'm just super grateful for how far I've taken it so far.
Yeah, how have you been able to like manage between sports, content, music, like all that stuff
Yeah.
over the years?
I mean, it's been a lot. I don't know. I think just trying to stay disciplined, trying to keep things on a good schedule has been good for me. Just being good with time management and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. There's really not a way to do it. It's just a lot of hard work, honestly. Like if you want to do a lot and you want to make things happen, it's just hard work and staying disciplined. So I feel like that's been the main thing for me. Just you got to be disciplined, got to stay locked in, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think your life has shifted, or what noticeable changes have you realized ever since, blowing up on social media? What pros and cons are there to it?
Yeah. I would say pros of the social media stuff. It's like I get to wake up and make videos for a living and live with my brother, and that's what I'm doing. So that's obviously the pro. Like that's incredible and it's a dream. I would say what's hard with the content stuff is like there's not it's not like super stable and predictable. Like people that have a job, it's like you're gonna go to your job, you have your job, and then you come home. For social media, it's like you can't really control like going into slumps or brand deals not coming in for a couple of months, stuff like that. So it's super unpredictable. So that's, I guess, the con of it. But I mean, I ultimately, I think I'm just really lucky to be doing what I'm doing. But I mean, it does take a lot of hard work. Like I really am just like getting up early and working on videos till 8 p.m. every day. So it's a lot of work, but it's a dream and it's like super fun work. So I love doing it.
Um, how do you what does music mean to you? I know you've been putting out music here and there,
Yeah.
and how does that how has that evolved over the years, and what do you like about it so much?
For sure. Yeah. So music was like, that was what I was doing before any of the content stuff. And that's like what I always wanted to do is music. And I was in choirs, I was doing like music theory, all that stuff. And so that's just something I love a lot. And it's kind of what I've realized was I thought like music was what I love, but it's really just creating and just making things out of nothing is what I love. So that's kind of why I got into content. I realized that like there's this umbrella and music is part of it, as opposed to like music is the umbrella. So that's kind of my situation with music right now. But yeah, like a lot of people, I feel like there'll be like creators that start making music because they have like a big platform. And for me, it's kind of the opposite. It's like I did music first, and so I'm not very active with it right now. But I do want to get back to it. But when I come back to it, I want to go all in on it. So I don't want to go like half. And so like that's what I was doing last year. I was like dropping songs, but not promoting them. But at some point here, I want to do like a year or something where it's just all music, because that's like really who I am. It's not just something I like want to do. It's like I put in years on that. So yeah, it's something I love a lot.
Yeah. Um, have you able to like fine tune with everything you've put out and like keep improving upon creating new stuff while making sure everything doesn't really interfere with each other?
Right. Yeah, I think with fine tuning, it's just like it's just the more you do something, the better you get at it. So like with content, I've just not like if you look at my stuff from 2 years ago, it's like way worse than what it is now. And it's just because I've been doing it a lot. So I think anybody that wants to improve, just do it every day a bunch. Because you don't even know what you don't know until you do it a bunch. So yeah, with fine tuning, it's just been staying consistent and working. And yeah, I think that's just the main way to improve. And that's like the same thing with music, like just going to the studio every day and getting better. That's how you get better, just doing it, honestly, not like reading about it or watching video. It's just do it every day a bunch. And that's kind of how I think you can find too.
Yeah. You've created some of the most out there and fun content on social media with your brother. What initially got your interest to create content, and how are you gonna always keep creating new ideas?
Yeah. I think just like my background of like how I grew up was kind of like my inspiration for the content. Cause like I was saying earlier, like my content is just who I am. It's just sports and fun and humor and just fun lifestyle stuff. So I think the inspiration just comes from just being who I am. But yeah, I mean, as far as like keeping it fresh and everything like that, um, I don't know. I don't know. Like as far as coming up with new ideas, I think you just got to be open to like inspiration and just like letting whatever hits you hit you. I don't know. You kind of just, as long as you keep doing it and stay consistent, you'll kind of keep the ideas coming. I feel like.
Yeah. What are your favorite sports just in general, and what have they meant to you growing up and now at this point?
Yeah. Um, I'd say basketball is probably my favorite. It's funny, like Zach and I both played soccer in college, but like we both probably say basketball is our favorite sport. I just love playing basketball, and watching the NBA obviously is freaking awesome. So I'd say basketball is my favorite. Soccer was what I played in college, so I played soccer the most, but basketball, and then also played baseball in high school. So I'd say those are the top three, but I'd say basketball. It's just like so fun to just play pickup with the boys and just to watch basketball. So yeah, I'd say that's my favorite sport for sure.
Yeah. What have been your most favorite or most notable times during your content creation years, or best opportunities you've been granted?
For sure. I'd say like just I like how I'm doing stuff with Zach now. That's like my favorite thing ever. Just because I was doing the Danny G stuff for a couple years before the Breadbasket started. So for the Breadbasket to like take off, because we were doing it for a while and it wasn't really moving. That's been my favorite thing, just because like I just get to make content with my brother every day. So I love that. As far as like specific moments and stuff like that, um, I mean, the Jonas thing was obviously really cool. Having Nick Jonas on was like insane, and that was like so early in our process that it was like, what's going on? And then I don't know, Richard Jefferson's been like one of our favorite guys too. Like the videos we've done, and we've gotten to like hang out with him a little bit, so that's probably been one of the cooler moments. We were, like when we were in Denver, we like went to a bar and just like talked with him for like an hour. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Can you kind of dive into what Zach and the rest of family have been able to do for you over the years?
Yeah. I mean, our family is just like super supportive and super encouraging of like whatever it is like the kids want to do. So my parents have, when I was only doing music and it wasn't going anymore and I was just working on that, they were super encouraging and believed in me. So yeah, the family's been huge. Zach is the same thing. Like he's always believed in me and he's always encouraged me. And I feel like I try and do the same for him. And yeah, I'm really lucky with the family that I have, because they are just super encouraging, and they believed in what I was doing before there was any, progress or any like evidence that it was going to work. And so I think that's super important to come from something like that, where just like they encourage you to do what you want to do, even when it's not working yet.
Yeah. How can you compare your time with or without Zach? And what things do you think moving in together will allow you guys to do?
Yeah. I think with moving in, we can just do more like stuff in real life, which will be fun. So sports and stuff like that. And I think we can meet up with guests in person and do things like that. And so I think everything will kind of just get accelerated and start to move quicker now that we're together. Um, but it is funny. We still like film in separate rooms, like even though we live together, because we just like, it's just like too funny to do in person. So I think like day-to-day videos will still probably do the same. But as far as like living with Zach, it's just like we're together. We can make moves. We can play sports. We can meet with people. So I think everything's just going to move like way quicker. And yeah, like even in the first couple of days, we've started our long form YouTube stuff. So like just like stuff like that we haven't been able to do, we can now just kind of get going in person. So I think it'll just make everything move faster.
Yeah. Where'd you guys end up settling on? And what made it the best choice for you guys?
As far as living, like where we're
Yeah.
gonna live. Yeah, so we don't know yet. I think we're thinking probably Santa Monica. We're still in.
Mm,
So Zach went to Whittier, so we have like another whatever until the end of July. But I think we're thinking Santa Monica because we kind of want to live on the beach. But I feel like it's still like a lot of people around there, so probably Santa Monica. Yeah, but we'll see.
okay,
We're not
got it.
settled yet. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, what do you see for the future of you, your relationship with Zach, or content creation in general?
Yeah. I think I mean we really just want to do what we're doing on a greater scale, honestly. And I think it's like you can like kind of predict what you want to do. Like I know we want to start a long form pod. I know we want to like have a huge merch line and all this stuff. But I feel like Zach and I have talked about it. Ultimately, like you just don't exactly know what's going to happen and where it's going to take you. So like all we know is we're just going to stay consistent, up the quantity, up the quality, and just keep grinding and kind of just like accepting whatever comes from that. Because we look at something like if you look at Barstool, for example, like I don't think they knew exactly where they would be in 10 years, like Portnoy when he started it, but they were just working and they were grinding and they believed that they were going to be something big. So I think that's kind of our motto. We're just going to keep cooking and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah. Um, has there been anyone in particular that's like inspired you or particularly helped you, guide yourself?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, my family is like, that's my number one inspiration. It's like just my parents and my family. But I guess aside from that, like, I don't know. We look at guys like Russ is like a big inspiration for Zach and I. We just because he's independent, he just keeps his head down, works hard, stays consistent, and like he's built this empire. So I think Russ is somebody. We both love Drake. Same thing. He's just built this absolute empire from what he's done. So guys like that, we just look to for like people that have done it themselves, stay consistent, and like had the longevity for 15 years to build something huge. Yeah, it's really my family, and then just guys like that. We like Mike a lot. I don't know if you've heard of Mike. He's a big inspiration for us. But yeah, man.
yeah. Um, what is your hometown in Colorado, Denver? What does that mean to you, and what has it helped you with?
Yeah. I mean, we love Denver. We obviously love the Nuggets. We came from a really good community. We went to like really good schools and had really good teachers, really good families around us. So I feel like Denver really just kind of shaped who we are and what we're doing. And so we definitely want to be intentional about like representing Denver and the 303 and everything. And because it means everything. Like that's where we were and where we were growing up. And it shaped who we are. So it really means everything to us. And yeah, our ultimate dream is to be like courtside Nuggets guys every year. So that's what we're working on. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I got.
Love it, man.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Oh, thanks, so man. I appreciate you having me on. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
All right.